A very good Sunday afternoon, my people. And this is the last teaching of the Year of Rabbit. And we will give a big welcome to the Year of Dragon. And the first day of Year of Dragon, I believe, is February either 9th or 10th. So today we'll talk about what that means, that was the Year of Dragon, the energy and the lines, or what is that called? We call that what, before the year started, and we start just to kind of use Gua to see the patterns of energy a little bit. So we'll talk more about that. And then we'll also talk more about lately what we've seen, the winter health plus COVID brain, where we are at with everything. So now let's start with our part one, breathing exercise. Breathing exercise is based on Taoist longevity exercise, especially now if people have chronic infections, especially sinuses infections and lung infections, mid-ear infections, etc. And then this is a really good exercise to do. Now close your eyes. So breathe in with our nose, out with mouth. But I want you to feel all those meridian lines are open by breathing in and out with this. Okay, we'll do 10 times. Now we will do part two, 10 energy movements. 10 energy movements is one of the best fascia movements. Fascia is it's not just the connective tissues, but rather the structure of your body. Like I always says, since COVID, we win or lose on our fascia system. That means if you have a very balanced, healthy fascia system, that can prevent you from a lot of illnesses and also strengthen the whole immune system, because lower inflammation, reduce stagnation, and also cancer prevention, it lays heavily with the fascia. If we remember one thing from this movement, we are opening up our Sanjiao, that's triple burner, that's the most important part of our fascia system. And this is also where doing cancer prevention. By doing that, we're letting all the nutrients, all the positive energy flow through our whole fascia system. Balancing our liver system and our lungs. A lot of people this winter sick with lung-related imbalances. We are, and then especially with the year of dragon, to balancing our liver system is so crucial. Now, this movement, we're balancing the whole gut system. 18 months, we have seen a lot of what I call COVID blood and then COVID brain. What is coming is COVID gut. I'll tell you a little more why I say that. But this one, you are balancing the whole gut system. It's really from the moment you chew to the moment you poop. Okay? If you have gut discomfort, do this move. A lot of people feel overwhelmed. They have neck tightness, upper shoulder tightness, or you just want to balance your basic emotions. And this is the movement for you. Now, we're balancing our spine to promote immune T cell and also promote the intestinal movements. Again, the whole fascial system and our kidneys and spine. Reduce liver energy stagnation, irritation, and this movement is so important for the year of dragon. A lot of people have stagnation in their kidneys, kidney stones, which a lot of people have kidney infections, have kidney stones, UTI, pelvic floor. Let's do this movement. Again, is to stretch the whole fascia system. Flexibility is longevity. Now, our last one. Again, I want to see how you stretch the whole tendon. Okay, now have a little water. Let's talk about the year of the dragon. So the coming year, well, it's 2024, but the lunar year, we are going to enter a year of we call that Qinglong. Qinglong is a wood dragon. So what are some characteristics of the wood dragon? Dragon represent growth, power and growth, and a lot of young energy. But before we start, who can tell me in native or indigenous tongue, what does Michigan, what is this region means? Who can tell me? Okay, Sarah, do you know?
I do, but I hate to say because I only know because you told me. I believe it's land of many dragons,
It's land.
something, or river. Yeah.
Land of dragons. So it's because we have water here. So, but wood dragon, well, I want to show you this dragon. You see, this is a beautiful piece, right? This is, we call that Hanbaiyu. It's a naturally white marble. It's only, this marble can only found in one small town and in China. And look at how people, the monks, how they carve this. And that is Zhenlong, that is their vital energy is holding. Look at this. Isn't that just marvelous? But as you can see, dragon represent growth because every single part has the young energy out. So a wood dragon, that means that we are likely to see wood dragon that they represent a lot of water. And then we are in Michigan, we have a lot of water. So what we will need to always try to balance is overgrowth. So that's one thing that we at our clinic, we already prepared to see a lot of overgrowth. That means that when people have overgrowing young energy, we'll see a lot of anger, we'll see a lot of irritation, we'll see a lot of people who have blood pressure issues, and that can raise, if people have headaches more than the previous years. So that's a part of the character with dragon, but also dragon represent a lot of strength and power, right? So how do we, and when dragon lands, right, we will need to be very, very cautious. Dragon's energy naturally goes very well with two types of energy. One type of energy is what the little mouse represent. That's little mouse, and that is little young, right? Not a lot, but someone very fast, someone that know how to navigate danger. That's what a mouse represent. So if you are a mouse, you're a rat, and then you happen to have those characteristics, this year is your year. Or if you are not a rat, and but you want to nurture that energy, that energy will go well with dragon. Another energy dragon really naturally get along with is the energy of monkeys. The monkey line, right, in our meridian line is our gallbladder line. Gallbladder line has this, is the original, is the stem cell line, right? Is the middle kidney line. So the characteristic of monkeys, they are clever, and they are, they don't mind of change. They are constantly moving. So dragon energy goes well with this type of energy as well. So what does that mean? Means that we will need to have that courage to change, right? So that's the basic of the wood dragon and the basic characters. And then, but like every year, and I open this book of I Ching, right? That is a part of my study. I Ching is really just to study. It's one of the very ancient books. It's older than Yellow Emperor. It's older than 7,000 years. So people used to open this book and just to say, well, it was quite interesting because the one who discovered I Ching, who draw the lines, are the people that this half mortal, half immortal, that were being really respected by people 7,000 years back. And they often ask him, so where do we go today? Should we go and fish? Should we go hunt? Should we go pick up something to eat? Well, point us that direction. If you point us that direction, I will just follow. So this guy, he lived in this big tree, and so people were waiting, and says, well, tell us. So then he's very patient for a long time, and then one day he's like, well, look, I'm just going to draw this line, okay? Once you see this line, you will know where to go. So then people begin to study those lines, ask him to interpret those lines, and so on and so forth. So that's really what those we call that gua. Gua is you go ahead and see what is it is the direction, and then knowing that's the direction of the energy, then you can plan your days ahead. So what is gua? What does this year say to us? So I did it for the clinic to everyone. So the first one, I will not bother to tell you the first one. I did one yesterday, the second one, because that really gives us a direction of what's going on. So it's called 大过28, is the Gua 28. So that means that this year we're going to navigating through overwhelming circumstances with detailed planning, courage, patience, and we will need to choose the middle way. That means moderation is the key, right? So they give a picture of something. This picture is given is that the weight-bearing pole or a weight-bearing beam have been bended. So most people, when they look at it, they say, well, what does that mean, right? It means that one need to have courage, because most people, when they look at that, they only see danger, right? But they also need to see the opportunity. A lot of people will stop will look at this and will say, oh my goodness, this is bandit, right? This is danger. I'm not going to move forward with it. I'm going to stay here and get stuck. So on the Gua, this pattern says, when you see that, use caution, courage, detailed planning, and go through it. Then you have turned the overwhelming circumstances into great success. And this Gua also indicates that we say Guo is you have to have that certain level of courage to really hit. So then what you will need to do is nourishment, right? Because when you give this, there's a lot of preparation in this region, right? So nourish, you need to nourish your physical health, your mental strength, your financial well-being, and all these things that can help you to navigate through. So the world this year, or the year of dragon, may look very overwhelming. But if you stop, you're going to have more stagnation, which is not advised. You must use caution, detailed planning, courage, and go through that. So that's what basically this Gua says and this year says to us. The positive side is that if you go through that, and you will have success. You will have actually profound success. So that is something to look forward to, I think. So there are also 6 points that in our next teaching, I will help you to study those 6 points and see under what kind of circumstances we'll use which points. But this is what the basic Gua says. So, do you have any questions before I move to our next thing, COVID brain?
Dr. Liu, I don't know if you want to touch on this now or maybe towards the end of the teaching, as far as like preparation for welcoming in the year and sort of bringing in the best of the year. Are there certain things?
Nourishing. I said nourishing, right? You have to really get yourself prepared physically. That means that how do you balance yourself physically? That's nourishment, right? And preparation for that. And do you have things that, because we are crossing this great path that need a lot of strength and courage. So are you prepared mentally? If you feel you are overwhelmed already now, then I would suggest you to meditate more, right? Because it's not going to be a year without feeling overwhelmed. And then if you choose color, choose 2 colors. If you say, what is my overall lucky color for the year of dragon? Dragon loves red, loves green. So get yourself something red, get yourself something green that will please the dragon. And then the other thing is that patience, right? That really is a weakness for all of us. It's a weakness for me. Lack of patience.
Dr. Liu, we do have a question from a listener about the Gua and whether it applies uniformly to everyone.
It's a guidance. I think all of us can learn something from the patterns of the year to say, well, this year, some years are going to be just such an easy year, everything just. But some years, it's just going to be a little bit, people will feel a little bit overwhelming with the world, right? Because everywhere you turn, everywhere you go, if you look at a bridge, it's, oh my goodness, this bridge is bended. If you look at the house, you say, oh my goodness, this house is bended. If you look at the road, you say, my goodness, this road is bended. What is it? So that is going, you will see this pattern everywhere. But what I want you to do is to have a plan to go through with it. Because if you stop, it's not good. And that's the key. If you go through it, you will have success. And that's really is the key. Don't stop. We're entering a point that I always says is like a neck of a bottle. If you get stuck, more people get stuck. That's why our little boat with our over 6,000 on it, and we just keep going, keep navigating through. And every time you feel overwhelmed, you know, when I look at it, look at the world, and I look at the energy, I say, oh, this is overwhelming. Guess what I'm doing? I'm developing a chapter of facial, right? I want to see how we can help people to have beautiful skin. So, and I think that for me, that really is a balancing point. Every time I feel, oh yeah, it's overwhelming, then I go and develop that character. And that make me happy, make everybody happy. So find that balancing point instead of feel overwhelmed and despair, and feel hope and do something fun, do something joyful. That always helps. I see we have some dragons in the audience. So do we want to talk a little bit of COVID brain, or we want to continue on with our dragon discussion?
I imagine, Dr. Wu, everybody's digesting what you're saying. So we could probably go on to brain health and then, or COVID brain rather, and then certainly if there are more questions about the dragon, I will be sure to bring them up.
Okay. So for 5 or 6 months now, we've seen a lot of people with what I call COVID brain. What are the symptoms? The symptoms are in 3 categories. Category 1, high level of inflammation and infection, sinuses infection, mid-ear infection, throat infection, eye infection, and we also see more people have brain infection, and either they have fluid in the brain that has to be treated with serious treatment, or inflammation in the brain. And then we also see a category of people have severe brain fog to a point that they can't function that well, and they just to a point that we say dementia-like symptoms. They forget words, and they forget what you tell them something before you turn. They forget what you want from them. They forget what they want, and people have more driving accidents because they are not coordinating that well, because that's the connection between their brain and their body is much slower. And then the third one is we see a lot of young people with cancer, which is very, very concerning. So, so these are the 3 categories what we see. So what are we going to do about this? So when you come to our clinic, as you can see, it doesn't really matter what you come in for, and we are using certain percentage of the treatment, 30 to 40% of treatment, to do the COVID brain prevention, COVID blood prevention. And I'm going to develop a chapter of COVID gut prevention to do some preventative care. But if people already have chronic infections and inflammation, so what are the best way to help you to reduce that? It's really the best way is the self-massage, is the energy movements, which we already learned. You see, the wisdom in this is that we know all these, if we say the COVID virus lives in people's membrane, they target central nervous system and they target fascia, which is very, very clever. So what we do is you must have a very balanced fascia system. What is the best way to do fascia care? 10 energy movements. We have been learned that for 2 years. I trust you have been doing that, hopefully daily. So you are much more advanced compared to your fellow comrades, right? So we are already way ahead because we put the effort to nourish our health, right? So this year, we will need to be more diligent to do more. The energy movement, that's one of the best way to balance fascia system. And then the other thing we can do is really, we keep saying, right, if you have these two tools, you do a meridian line padding, right? And nothing new need to be done. We have been doing that. You have a tool like this, and then you keep padding the system that keep giving signals to the meridian lines, the fascia system, that will reduce inflammation, right? Because there's certain specific lines we want you to work on. We have taught you already, you just keep doing that. And then the other thing is that we have taught you how to do the self-massage for the sinuses massage, the head massage. We also taught you how to do the ear massage, and all these things together will help you to get ahead to prevent you from getting chronic infections. If you are there already, that will help you to decrease the chance of the reoccurrence of the infections. Because we have those tools, we have prepared ourselves for this to come. We know it's coming, right? We have prepared ourselves. Now we are ahead. We just need to continue to do it every day. That's all. So, any questions about, we've been treating a lot of people with COVID in our clinic. We give them herbs, we give them treatment. If you are there, I don't think you will be able just to do it on your own and come to us, and we'll give you a treatment plan, we'll give you guidance. But you got to do your part. You got to do your part, right? You got to do your part. We have all the tools.
Dr. Liu, could you talk a little bit about how the wellness broth fits in here?
The wellness broth is to reduce stagnation, right? If you think about you are driving to our clinic. You're driving on this road. Stagnation is all those bumps, those potholes, those unbelievable drivers, and that will slow you down and preventing you from getting healing done. So that is called stagnation. So the wellness broth is designed to reduce the stagnation. If we have less stagnation, we will not accumulate possibility of inflammation. Then our immune system will come out, do what need to be done properly. not overwhelmingly, right? Because a lot of times immune system come out too strong, that when you try to combine certain things, immune system is like this kind of really strong army. So what we don't want always that. We want sometimes, we just want a gentle discussion. Sometimes we just need to watch it, let it pass by. So instead of causing more inflammation. So, but why your immune system is acting strangely? Because you have too much stagnation, right? Your immune system has to say, well, I need to go through this. Well, here is a car, unless I'm just going through this. And what we're doing is reduce that so your immune system can really do it properly. So have it every day. That is a little additional help and support we all need, because our earth is not well. So all of us, our food isn't that nutritious. Our mind isn't that clear. So we all need some additional help. The wellness broth is that little gentle additional help for you. I may give you some stronger herbs if needed. I think some of you already need that. And but again, you know, we have that ready. We have that ready.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liu. I'd like to play devil's advocate just for a moment here. So for some of our listeners, they might be thinking, well, I don't really have any sinus concerns, or I'm not having any headaches. But doesn't COVID brain sort of set the stage for other trickle-down effects like gut dysfunction? I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about the potential manifestations of that.
Because again, you know, we have 5 filter system. Everyone has a 5 filter system, right? We have lungs, spleen, liver, kidneys, and the whole fascia. These are 5 filter systems. So this COVID has a tendency to create a lot of phlegm. That's a whole other chapter that once upon this time we'll talk about how to reduce the phlegm. And phlegm really increase the stagnation. If you have stagnation, then your intestines won't be moving as smooth as we can, what we should. So you will have either sluggish bowel movements, or a lot of pain, or gas pain, or you are likely to have SIBO, right? The bacteria in small intestines, stomach inflammation, gallbladder inflammation. So that, I think, the next, with a lot of people already experiencing that, and then almost everybody has, is the dampness in the spleen system. It's just already slow, already sluggish, already not able to get the toxins and inflammation out of the system. And then this COVID is on the top of it. It's just adding it, because that creates so much phlegm. So even though you do not have, you say, I don't have sinuses infection, I don't have this and that, but I will still suggest you to do the energy movements, to do some preventative care. And yeah.
So, Dr. Liu, we know with long COVID, there's the possibility of developing new symptoms. So there's the exacerbation of sort of, you know, the COVID, or possibly developing new symptoms. So it seems really like this notion of prevention that you're really striving at is, I mean, there's so much we're still learning as far as the long COVID is concerned. So I guess I really want to drive that message home, because I think sometimes we rely on treatment, but if we can stay ahead of that.
So it's really that 3 categories, right? If you think about central nerve, if you think about inflammation and chronic infection and inflammation, that's one category. And you think about the central nerve deficiency, that's a fascia deficiency, right? And you think about this, the whole phlegm, that's another thing. But that is, again, that if we want to be a little bit ahead, really is taking your wellness broth, doing the self-care, and doing the energy movements that can help you to stay a little bit ahead. I think all of us will be somewhat influenced by it. It's just what it is.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liu. I know you touched on the movements and you touched on the wellness broth. I'm wondering if you can give maybe just a couple of food items that kids can have access to. One of our listeners has they have a 18-year-old son who is struggling with phlegm, so maybe something at home, food-wise, that can help to facilitate that.
So if people have, let's say, if they have more phlegm than they should, then my advice for you really is get some oranges and tangerines. And if you have a lot of phlegm, and then I use quinoa as well. As you see, I put in my water that can help to prevent phlegm. And I believe this is in season in California, it's never in season in Michigan. So, and then just steam a tangerine, steam an orange, and it's really not that desirable to eat, but at least let them eat half of it with the skin, with everything, just to eat it up. That will help to reduce the phlegm. And if gargle with salt, that will help as well. Also, oil pulling, that will help as well. And then you can do some herbal steaming, and that will also help. So all these little tricks that, and to do a sinuses clear prevention, self-massage, that can help to reduce phlegm. And then the meridian line petting, to do the long meridian line petting, that can also reduce the phlegm. Because phlegm is one of the big challenge and chapter in traditional Chinese medicine. So a lot of times that if you have it really bad, you will need to call us and we'll make you some herbs.
Thank you, Dr. Liu. Wondering if we can wrap back around to the Year of the Dragon, just to sort of close out the teaching for selfish reasons here. I always love to hear you talk about that. I'm wondering if you can share with us, what is the dragon trying to teach us this year? What is, I know you talked about the message, but what's the wisdom?
The dragon is trying to teach us patience, courage, working together, because the dragon always comes with 9. We say, 群龙无首级. The best scenario is a group of dragons fly together without a leader. And dragons are really one of the best creatures to just have that flow, right? I think dragons is here to teach us, look, the world goes through a period of times that we may feel we are powerless. We may feel that we are overwhelmed. We may feel we are lack of connection. But the dragons, they're here to teach us. Look at us. Look at us as creatures. We fly. We can fly so high in the sky. We can swim so deep in the ocean. We can show up nowhere in the air. And look at us. What we represent courage. We represent patience. We represent connectedness. We represent really humility and represent love. That what a wood dragon will teach us. Fear not. Let's be as courageous as a dragon. Let's fly away. Let's fly away with me, fly away with them. Let's find joy and hope in today's society. And that is the teaching of a dragon.
And maybe just a touch of magic. Thank you so much.
Oh, need.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Liu. Happy Lunar Year to
Happy
you.
New Year.
all
Get
of
a
our
little
listeners.
pride in yourself. We will dragon each other.
Thank you, Dr. Liu. That was wonderful. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was great.
Mhm.